The NBA is a cultural phenomenon, and even though the league does a good job overall at managing basketball and giving us some extremely iconic moments, as well as some of the greatest sporting superstars, things don't always go off without a hitch. Controversies happen, and fans and players get upset. But guys, believe us when we tell you that 2022 has been one of the NBA's most controversial years ever. Let's get into it. First up, COVID wreaked havoc on the league. That's right, guys, we're still talking about this in 2022. Honestly, when will this virus leave us alone? It's almost funny how every time things settle down, a new variant emerges to haunt our dreams. That's exactly what happened when, in 2022, the Omicron variant wreaked havoc across the league. It was madness. We saw whole teams being benched. And when the players we know and love were down with COVID, they had to be replaced, in some case by retirees. Seriously, it was no joke. At least 5 teams missed more than 100 player days. 100, guys. That's a lot. The Bulls lead in this unfortunate stat with 144 days missed. Now, don't get us wrong. It was great to see some veterans back on the court, but franchises were just parading the skeletons of their teams in front of fans, night after night. We're not saying it was the worst thing in the world, but no one can deny that the quality of basketball went down a lot in this last year. And the worst part is, it could have been better if the NBA just handled their COVID protocols efficiently, instead of in the confused and inconsistent way in which they did it. The mishandling of protocols and the decrease in quality of the beloved game was definitely a controversy worth talking about. But believe us when we tell you, it gets worse. Following up, Ben Simmons' antics. You know, it's a big controversy when a player manages to upset not just an entire state, but the entire league. Simmons was the number 1 pick in the 2016 NBA draft for the 76ers. This is a guy you'd expect greatness from. Unfortunately, all he's given us is one controversy after another. Honestly, guys, we're not joking. First, the man refused to play for the 76ers for the entire season. Then he had the gall to try and force them to trade him when he was on a $100+ million deal with them. Needless to say, Philly fans were upset. This man was supposed to be a breakout star, not a huge disappointment. Anyway, he got his wish and got traded to the Nets in exchange for Harden. But unfortunately, his behavior hasn't changed. At this point, he's just a huge problem and refuses to step onto the court because a mental block causes a back injury of his to flare up. We mean, sure, it's okay for a player to be under mental stress and need a break, but this is taking it too far. We mean, he refused to even practice with the 76ers back when he was in Philly, and now he's bowing out of games at the last second in New York. Yep, this is a big one as far as controversies go, but hey, even though Simmons managed to annoy the whole league, some things top even this. Keep watching to find out. Coming up, Morris versus Jokic. Players beef from time to time, but things get controversial when big names and actual serious injuries are involved. That's right, we're talking about what went down between Miami's Morris and Denver's Jokic earlier in the year. Nikola is no small deal. We mean, this guy is an MVP and one of the stars of the Denver lineup. Needless to say, he gets a lot of love. But one guy that doesn't love him is Markieff Morris. The Miami player that got injured in an altercation with Jokic. He missed 30 games in a row after an injury to the back he received as the two players crashed, and the Joker was suspended for a game as a result of the altercation. This may make the Denver player seem like the bad guy, but you've got to remember, guys, that it was Marcus that initiated the altercation by slamming into the Giant Serb's side on a previous play. Still, it makes sense that the Miami Hooper player was upset. We mean, he missed 30 games because of a spine injury. Ouch. But it doesn't end there. The man tweeted about how Jokic was a 300-pound sloppy fat boy, and things got heated. Jokic's brothers came out and straight up threatened the guy. That's just taking it too far. This was a very spicy addition to the NBA's very controversial year. Next up, Zion versus the Pellies. What is it with these new NBA stars and sitting out games? Honestly, first Simmons and now Zion? Relax, guys, before you head to the comments. We know his situation is different from the Australian hooper, but still, it's not great. Ben has been a force of nature in the league, but unfortunately, the guy is very injury prone and missed most of his rookie season because he was out. We all know history has never been kind to injury-prone players, and honestly, we wish the Pelican star can stay in form. Anyway, a huge controversy for the NBA was when not only was Zion out on injury, it seemed like he was beefing with the Pellies. That's right, it didn't seem like the star was on good terms with the team. We mean, the man went radio silent on the team as they were preparing for trying to make the playoffs. What's more, he didn't even reach out to New Orleans' newly signed star shooting guard, CJ McCollum. You best believe that made fans upset. Although things seem to be looking better now, Williamson definitely added to the controversies of this year. And for his sake, we hope he can stay in form and avoid getting injured so often. It would be a real shame if we had to see another potential NBA great not reach his potential because of bad form. Next up, the Staples Center in New York becomes the Crypto Arena. This one was a big one for sure. The Staples Center in New York is a representation of basketball history, and 9 of the 22 NBA Finals were held there. That's right, this arena was and is one of the most significant landmarks of modern-day sports. That's why it was a huge deal in the NBA world when the iconic arena's naming rights were bought by the Singapore-based cryptocurrency company Crypto.com. Yep, you guessed it. They didn't care about the legacy of the stadium, just the potential crazy advertising they could do on and within it. Honestly, we get it. Crypto.com is a company, and they'd obviously look after their interests. But when they announced in November 2021 that they were going to change the name of the Staples Center, you can probably guess how the fans reacted. It wasn't pretty. People were outraged, but still, most thought it was a joke. So imagine everyone's disbelief when the name change actually happened around the start of 2022. Needless to say, seeing the signs that had welcomed fans for 22 years being ripped away to make room for the stadium's new name, the Crypto.com Arena, was just too much to witness. This massive controversy set the tone for the rest of the NBA's extremely spicy year, with one drama after the other leaving us all baffled. Following up, Ime Udoka's fall from grace. Celtics fans were in love with their new head coach, Udoka, and it made sense too. The guy deserved it. He led the Celtics to the playoff finals after all, for the first time in 12 years. 12 years. That's a long time, guys. Now, you must be thinking, this sounds like a success story. Where's the controversy? Well, unfortunately for the Celtics, he decided to take liberties with their female employees. Yikes. That's right, the man cheated on his longtime partner of 13 years. Honestly, that's disgusting. Now, this is bad enough, but the partner he cheated on was the beloved actress Nia Long. Yep, needless to say, this scandal got a lot of attention from the fans, and it's safe to say no one was happy. The Celtics let go of their star coach, and the fans, who were obviously not in favor of keeping the guy, had to watch on in frustration. Because even though he deserved to be fired, the man was also definitely a good coach. It's a real shame when talented guys do such horrible things and destroy their potential. Coming up, Kyrie Irving's anti-Semitic remarks. This NBA superstar refuses to stop doing controversial things. That's right, Irving didn't take a break from the drama in 2022 and caused a worldwide stir with his recent remarks. don't get us wrong, anti-Semitism is absolutely reprehensible under any circumstances. But with Kanye's recent remarks, yeah, people were already upset and weren't in the mood to tolerate any hateful sentiments from anyone. So, in true Kyrie fashion, the ex-flat earther decided to tweet out a documentary heavily rooted in anti-Semitic ideas at this exact time. Yeah, the NBA wasn't happy at all. Irving was given chance after chance by the Nets to walk his statement back and apologize for sharing the film. But once again, in true Kyrie fashion, the man not only refused, but proceeded to double down on what he'd done. He kept going till the Nets owner, Joe Tsai, finally gave in and suspended the hooper indefinitely. The player outraged a lot of people, but he also had a lot of fan support, and you can bet this caused a storm. The Nets laid down the condition that the superstar would only set foot on the court again after issuing an apology and talking with the Jewish commissioner of the NBA, Adam Silver. There was a huge uproar as a response because players and fans alike felt that the punishment was too harsh. We don't know, guys. Was it? Anyway, the hooper has since been reinstated, but for his own sake, we hope he can stay out of trouble. That's about it for this one, guys. Were there any other juicy NBA controversies from 2022 that you would have liked to see in this video? Make sure to let us know in the comments below. And as always, guys, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. See you in the next one.